3D printing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I've wanted a 3D printer for quite a while now, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and then I decided to go ahead and get one on Black Friday. After doing a little bit of research, watching YouTube videos, reading reviews online, I understood that the best 3D printer out there at the minute, the one that you get the most bang for your buck, is this one right here. It's the Bambu Lab X1C, or the X1 Carbon. I'm a little bit nervous because I know nothing about 3D printing, I don't know how to use it, but apparently the software's fantastic. Apparently an absolute noob like myself can get into it pretty easily. But I'm also kind of nervous because the delivery driver apparently had delivered the package upside down at my house. Bruh. I mean, despite it literally saying glass, fragile, this side up. You idiot. So I'm a little bit nervous to actually open it up, and hopefully it's in one piece and hopefully it'll work. So without further ado, let's get this bad boy cracked open and see what the X1C is all about. Knife. Alright, to be fair, the printer was well packaged, well protected, so I'm hoping it'll be alright. Looks pretty good to me. Let's open up that box next and see what the crack is. So this box has got all the filament in it. They were also on sale for Black Friday, and I think the filament for like a kilogram roll was maybe like £21. Came down to about 15 for Black Friday, so I went ahead and stocked up, and we've got different colours. So this is the ivory white spool. As you saw when I was unboxing the printer itself, it came with some spools of filament as well. So like there's the black one, there's a green one. Okay, so the printer itself came with a few different ones in the bundle. Comes with like a filament system that automatically feeds it into the machine, so you don't have to. Pretty cool. And then you get, with that combo or that bundle, you get 3 spools of filament. But I went ahead and bought some more just because I didn't want to have to wait around, and I didn't want to also have to print in a certain colour. So went ahead and picked up a few more boxes. So we've got 2 whites, 2 blacks, a blue, a red, and a grey and an orange. And the filament material for all of them is PLA matte material. It's also the filament from Bambu Labs, although there's lots of different types out there apparently. But we were on their website, we were picking a combo from them, so we just decided to go ahead and to trust their filament. I'm gonna stick them boxes in the roof space for later. We always try and keep our big boxes for the different things we buy, like our PC, our monitor, our TV. Number one, in case we need to return things, it's important to keep it. And also, even if we don't need to return things, it's good if you have to transport it somewhere, if you're moving house, or even not, like if you're not ever gonna move, it's just good storage space for other little things that are sitting about. As you can see, I've got lots of things sitting about everywhere, so I'm going to keep them, put them in the roof space, and I actually probably need to get a table for this, somewhere to set it. My computer desk does have a big enough space for it, but I like the idea of putting less weight on my desk. It's already got 2 big monitors, a microphone, a couple of lights, and a big PC on it. So although there's space for it on the left hand side, I don't actually want to stick my printer there. I actually would like to keep it separate, so let's try and work out where we're going to put it. Found this table downstairs, just an IKEA table. Use it in my living room just for setting food on or some books when I'm marking. It doesn't really fit the aesthetic of the room because everything's white in this setup. That's just black, so it stands out. But I mean, I can't remember how much it was, maybe like 10 or 15 quid. So at some point we'll jump up to IKEA and maybe get a white version of it and put this one back down in the living room. But for now, it looks like the perfect size for our printer. Quick start guide, instruction manual. Usually I would suggest not reading the instructions for different things, but for this I think I am actually going to spend some time reading it. All the reviews online said it was a pretty simple printer to get set up, to get going. It's a pretty smart system, kind of runs itself. So I guess we're about to find out. Hey, nice. Got some free stickers as well. They'll go on the side of the cabinet. You can't really see because of the camera angle, but you can kind of see that there's some things here. Just a bunch of stickers from everywhere, so they'll go up there eventually. There's the top panel, which we'll take off for now. More protection in here, which is always good. I think we go ahead and stick it up on this table, maybe. actually a perfect fit, perfect size of table. Alright, so you've got the actual printer, and then inside you've got the AMS, which I think stands for like automatic material system. But basically it filters the spool in, so it's actually inside the printer. So that's what we've got to get out, and I'm assuming it's maybe secured in there, and we've got to unscrew it from what I can see in the instructions. So that's the next play. So it's locked in there with a couple of screws. So let's get the Allen key. One screw out, two screws out, and we should theoretically be able to slide out the AMS. So this bad boy is what you put the spool into, and it can hold up to 4 different colours of spool at a time. And then when you print a model, you don't actually have to print it in just one colour. You can print a model in multiple different colours, and this will filter in the colours when and as they're needed, which is pretty insane technology. So that was pretty important to us when we were buying a 3D printer. We didn't want to buy a printer that could only print in one colour of filament. We wanted to make little models and different things that could have multiple colours. So yeah, this is the genius behind it that's going to do everything, and eventually we'll sit up on top of the printer. Alright, so we're removing screws now. That it's just like a plastic support system that was holding the AMS unit. So let's get those screws out. A wee trick for removing screws. People don't know which way to turn. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
A few moments later.
Alright, so it had this big massive bit of plastic in there, but that's literally just to hold the AMS unit in place for secure transport. Actually it doesn't. The printer doesn't need this, so that's now removed. Remove 3 screws with an Allen key, each 2, to unlock the hotbed. Remove the protective foam after calibration. Alright, so the hotbed is where the prints go, and obviously it gets very hot.
Yep.
So we gotta remove the screw so the hotbed can move. I think it moves up and down with certain prints. So if it's locked in place, that's not very good. So let's free it. Alright, there we go. 1 screw. It's hard, the angle of the screw. You can't get your whole hand in, like. You can't use 2 hands. Like, I have nothing to hold with my left hand. I'm just sort of one hand unscrewing this. It's not the easiest in the world, but there we go. 2 screws. So far, I do have to say though, it's pretty easy unboxing the package. It's been packaged well. It's been easy to unbox, and so far easy enough to set up. Although I'm sure there's going to be a few more intricate details, like, you know, feeding the spool in and things like that, but we'll see. So far so good anyway. The little guide's nice and clear as well, so can't complain. 3rd screw. Alright. Pull the flexible printed circuit, the FPC, out about 50 millimeters. Is that this thing? 50 millimeters, was that 5 centimeters? Which is what? Like that much maybe? I'm assuming. Insert the FPC into the port by pressing terminal. This is going to be for the touch screen, right? That's where the screen goes, I think. Right, so where is the screen? This is it here, I believe. Aha! Little screen display. Okay, where to click? So that should be clicked in. And then it's a simple case, I hope, of just inserting it in. Like that. Hey! So we've got our screen on and it tilts. We'll leave the plastic on to peel at the end, I think, won't we? We haven't got a plug over here? Well, we have a plug here, I guess. Alright, so there's like a plug, like literally there against that wall. Not a plug back here. There's a plug socket up there, and then it runs behind the Pokémon plushies. There's like a power bank basically with multiple different ones. But it's going to be too far to stretch for this. So what we'll have to do is connect it to this for now, which is a bit of a shame, because it's going to be slightly out of view. But that's okay. We can turn our little camera. We're going this way, buddy. Check out the little cute bear. He's there so when the door swings open, the wall doesn't get smashed. Especially when Kira's here, because she just plows through doors. So that's what that little bear's about, in case you're wondering. Also should probably try and set up the AMS system before we move into, like, you know, everything else. So let's do that. So we've got the AMS unit, so we've got to get all that peeled off. And it just sits up there on the printer on top. Perfect, starting to come together. And now we've got to connect the AMS unit to the printer at the back, and that's what this page is for. That's the 4-pin one connected, 6-pin one connected, and the tube's connected. For now we want to leave it here, and we are actually going to tilt it slightly just so it's in line and in view of the camera. Alright, that package is gone. Woo! Nice clean glass, little screen peel. Beautiful. Let's try and set up this AMS system before we calibrate. Alright, so I think we've got everything hooked up pretty much. I guess we just power it on and then let it calibrate the hotbed, which should raise up, and then we can remove the little foam supports which are inside. Not gonna lie, panicked when I pressed on and it didn't turn on, but there's a power switch at the back. There we go. Alright, we've got our screen selector, so select language, English, connect to Wi-Fi. It would help if we remembered our own Wi-Fi password. Alright, scan the QR code to log into the printer. Alright, so we're just hooking up our accounts, just connecting our accounts. Connecting the printer to our account on the Bambu Lab app. Name your printer. Hey, you get to name it. I guess we just call it the X1C. Alright, there we go. Named Printy McPrintface.
What's wrong with you?
Wow, so you can monitor all the different settings on your printer here from the app. The temperature of the bed and the completion of your print. What you can also do is, obviously when you're printing something, actually record it from a camera, which must be inside the printer somewhere. Printer needs to calibrate to the current environment. Please ensure the heat bed is unlocked before starting calibration. Well, it is unlocked. Calibration may take several minutes. Calibrate. Wow. Got quite loud there, didn't it? Alright, so on the app then you can look, that's the little camera that's inside Printy McPrintface, and it's showing you what's going on. So look, we can actually make it full screen and see what's going on inside our printer. You can take screenshots, you can record it, do a time lapse.
2 seconds later.
Alright, calibration complete. Alright, so we've got the little user interface menu, and it's just popped up that there's a new firmware update. So I guess we can update that. Alright, update it.
A few moments later.
Alright, the software's finished updating. It's time to put the spools in. So we've opened up a few different ones. We've got red, we've got white, we've got green, we've got black. Alright, the green and the black ones are slightly lighter because they're not the ones that we ordered. They came with the combo separately, so obviously they stiff you and don't give you a full kilogram of spool. But whatever. We're going to stick them in for now, and then we'll see if we can print something with those colours. Alright, well I think that's loaded the green anyway. Well, there's the white one in. And finally we're going to put the black one in. Alright, we've loaded the filament and we're printing our first model. If you can see from the camera this far onto the little tiny screen, it'll give you a little clue what we're doing. And if you can't see, there you go. We're printing Metapod. Pokémon from the original 150, the Kanto region. Follow a guy on Instagram that's been printing them all. He's been printing all 151 original Pokémon from the Kanto region, and he's got all the the designs and all the plans for printing on this app. So we followed him. We're gonna steal one of his prints, and we're gonna go for Metapod because we have the 3 colors. It seems like a basic enough, simple first print. Hopefully, let's see what happens.
The next day.
Alright, so we've just woke up, checked our phone, and there was a notification from the Bambu Labs app that our printing has finally finished. It is quite a long process, to be fair. I mean, that was a simple Metapod, 3 colors, not even really too much white or black, just for the eyes, but the AMS having to change colour every so often for each layer when it got to the white, the black and the green, I think took its time, and it took about 7.5 hours maybe to print that Metapod in total. I started it quite late, so I went to sleep and it printed on through the night and finished about 3:30 in the morning. So we've woken up 6:30, now it's time to go and check on it. Oh, the wee lights are still on. Alright, let's get this main light on. Oh wow, look at all the excess filament that came out the little poop chute, as it's called, where it comes out here. So it does, and obviously maybe we need to get like a wee tray or bucket or something that catches all the excess filament. Poor bear's sitting here getting covered in plastic. There you can see the colours that were used, the green, the white and the black. There's obviously excess filament because when it's chopping and changing between the colours, it's having to change, you know, say from green to white, so it chops off the white filament that's in the tubes and then switches to the green. So there's always going to be like a little bit of excess, a little bit of waste, and it comes out this little poop chute here. So there you go. But anyway, let's go around and see what everyone wants to see. Here's the grand reveal. 3, 2, 1. Metapod. Oh my goodness, look how sick that looks. Oh, that is class. Now, obviously, we've got like supports here to hold them up and hold them in place. So what we've got to do is we've got to get the plate out and then crack them off and then remove all those little supports, so we just have our glorious little Metapod sitting there. But you can see that the printer was able to print that itself through the night. Doesn't look like there's any major mistakes or anything wrong with the printing, and yeah, it was safe, and you could monitor it through the app if you wanted to. Like if you're away from home, or you know, if you were sitting up in another room through the night, you could actually monitor it and make sure that it was okay. But so far so good. It's not hot anymore, it's cooled down, and it's probably ready to crack off the plate, so let's do that. It's actually quite large, like it's roughly the size of my hand. I thought it was going to be smaller, but that's sick. So I'm assuming we just flex it. There's that thing's came off. Flex it this way, flex it that way, and our Metapod's off. So actually really easy to remove from the hot plate as well. And then I'm assuming after every print we've got to sort of wipe this clean, because there's like, you can see maybe there's like little bits of the filament that are still on it. So we'll do that a little bit later. And then I guess we just got to remove these little supports. Most of them have removed pretty easy. These ones are a little bit trickier, but there we go. And there's like a little bit there. There's the supports removed. And there we have it. Metapod complete. Our first 3D print complete. How sick is that? And best thing about it is it stands up all by itself. So now we've got this sick Metapod, suspiciously looking at anybody that comes into the gaming room. Well done, Printy McPrintface. We've got many, many more Pokemon to print. For now, let's set Metapod over here on the Pokemon shelf beside all the plushies. He blends in pretty well. So there you have it, folks. We've got our first 3D print completed. and I couldn't be happier, honestly, as you can tell. The 3D printer worked like a charm, easy to set up, easy to get installed, easy to download the software, easy to use the Bambu app. Like, I literally just took someone else's print plan, put it into my phone, and then hit print. And as long as you had the right colors in the AMS, then everything worked out fine. It printed through the night with no problems. I woke up the next morning, done. Now, the printer was expensive. It was a top of the line one. So just bear that in mind if it's something that you do want to get into. But honestly, I'm glad I went for it. If I had went for a cheaper printer, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to leave it through the night probably. I wouldn't have been able to just let it automatically transfer colors. I would have had to do that myself, and it would have just been a lot more complicated for me. So the fact that we went expensive obviously hurts a bank account, but it makes things so much easier in the long run. And a wise man always said, buy cheap, buy twice. I don't know if you like this video. It was something a little bit different, obviously, with the unboxing and the setup and just sort of the raw footage, not too much editing in there. So if you liked it, let me know, and maybe we can do some more prints on the 3D printer in the future, or we could switch it over and do like little short content of them, minute-long videos, so you don't have to watch me for, I don't know, 20 minutes. If you have made it this far, then thank you very much for watching this far. Make sure you drop a like in the video. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, stay safe, be happy, and peace.